All right, and welcome back to the Hub. I'm John Butler, your host, and today we have something a little different than our normal type of shows. Normally we're talking about businesses, things like that, but we thought we'd get a little bit more personal with the Valley and get to know somebody who took on a little change for the Valley this year. And so we got our local MPP, Billy Denault, with us today. Thanks for coming to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, John.
No, I'm glad you're here. And for anybody out there that doesn't know you very well, give us a little background history on who Billy is before getting into the politics.
Yeah, absolutely. And I grew up in the town of Arnprior, so I've been a Valley boy my entire life. Grew up in Arnprior. I went to elementary school and high school there as well. Two hardworking parents. My mom and dad both work in some working class jobs. My dad worked in manufacturing. My mom worked as an admin in the healthcare system. And my sister's a nurse. So really kind of a humble beginnings, humble backgrounds. And as I grew up in the town, worked a number of different jobs, whether it be in the town's recreation department as a lifeguard or a summer student, and volunteered there as well. So really grew up in the community, went away for school in Carleton, so not that far away really, but went away to Carleton for a Bachelor's of Commerce, majoring in accounting, and I was successful in that, and then worked in the accounting sector for a number of years, and in 2022 ran for council, was successful, and that
was in the town of Arnprior.
And that was in the town of Arnprior as well. So yeah, it's been quite a quick progression, but certainly one that's been very fulfilling in the short amount of time. So.
Exactly, and I find it funny how you say like, "Oh, I was in this for a few years," and that when you're just basically just a little pup yourself right now. I say that because of my age, but but it's great to see younger generation getting involved because it's always been the older generation doing it, and we're all fading away. We need the younger generation to step up, especially in politics too. So I'm glad to see that you're in here now. Politics. Has this always been a passion of yours, being in politics, or?
I would say it's always been an interest, but in my background, I mean, I didn't have a family that was political or really one of various means, so I never would have imagined that I would have been in the position that I am here today, and in such a short period of time. But as you note, I ran in 2022 for council, and at that time I just wanted to be a part of something greater than myself, making a difference in my community. And I said, at the end of the day, if I'm successful or not, at the very least I can say I've tried. And I knocked on every door in the town of Arnprior, and I think people appreciated that someone was willing to work that hard and hustle for the position. So that's where my political journey, I guess, started, and how it's kind of come to here today. So.
Which is funny because you and I were joking before we went on here that the person that you succeeded in the position you are now, Mr. John Yakubuski, 22 years in that position, and basically almost as long as you've been alive, almost.
22 of my 25 years,
exactly.
Right?
So it's a big shoes to fill, of course, because he was a big member in this area, being 22 years, being voted in every time. Yeah. So when you found out he was stepping down, going to the retirement route, and that you will be basically superseding him, what starts going through your mind as something like that happens?
Well, I'll just say, big shoes to fill. Luckily, his are only size 12. Mine are 10 and a half. So I take up a little bit more of the shoe. But in November or in October, I forget. Obviously, he did announce that he was going to retire. And at that time, he approached me and asked if I was interested as a candidate. And he had approached other people, and I said, I want to be a part of making a change for my community. That's what I got into politics to do. And, to be able to do that for the Valley and to work hard for the people of the Valley is certainly something that I'm willing to take on. And he was honest about the work that you have to do. And I wouldn't even imagine the amount of work that he had to do over the course of those 22 years. Definitely. But when you get to sit in these shoes, you realize that you're driven by something greater than yourself to really work for the people of the Valley and and make their lives better in any way that you can.
Exactly, because people don't realize you're not just sitting at your office waiting for phone calls to come in. And I mean, he was Minister of Forestry at one time. He's Minister of Transportation, I think it was. Like, there's a lot of other shoes you got to fill on top of just looking after your constituents.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, if you're a member of government, as I am, I'm a parliamentary assistant to the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Gaming. So there's other roles that I have to play and committees and everything like that.
And you can't be everywhere.
No, you can't be everywhere, unfortunately.
So let's take you back. It's February 27th, 2025. Elections are coming up that day. Take us through that day, your mindset, not just through the day itself as the polls are opening, but as you're seeing results coming in, what's going through your mind?
Well, I'll go back to actually my first election, which was as a councillor, because at that time you really get to experience the first one of like, oh gosh, I didn't expect this was going to be the way this was. But then, up until that point, I had ran as if, given it my all.
Yep.
The night of the election and in 2022, when I was a councillor, you're going into the Nick Smith Centre. And I'm thinking, at this point in time, I don't know what the result's going to be, but at the very least, I can say I've given it my all. And I was successful. And I can tell you, John, without a doubt, that the day after, I called the CAO and I scheduled a meeting to go over what I wanted to accomplish over the next term. And the same thing kind of happened with this election. I ran, I knocked on doors, I went to every event that I could, and we gave it our all. And on election night, I said it's in whomever's hands.
It's in the people's hands.
It's in the people's hands. There's nothing more I can do. And when the results started to come in saying that we were successful, I said, well, it's time to get to work. So, which is what I did the day after. I was out there. I did an interview with CBC, and then I was picking up signs. So the work has not stopped until that day on February 28th. I was elected on 27th. On the 28th, my work
Your tenure started right then.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. Did you at least get some time to enjoy and party that night?
Not really. Not really. No, not really. It was just, okay, let's get to work. Let's get going. So, yeah.
No, that's good. That's good to see. And then now you've had that. It's been almost, 8 months now, I guess, close to 7.5 months. It's going to be hard, I know, but maybe in one word, can you describe what that experience has been like so far in this first 8 months? I
would say that this position is very fulfilling. And, in a lot of ways, in the sense, there's challenges, of course, with every position, every role that you take on, but the ability to be able to make a difference in someone's life and have a pronounced difference in someone's life is quite evident when you're in provincial government, because provincial politics has such an impact on people's lives in more ways than one, from the services that we deliver on an everyday basis that people interact with. And then you go into what we've accomplished even in the last 8 months, whether it be, I'm thinking about just recently the primary care action plan that the province has doled out. The riding of Renfrew, Nipissing, Pembroke was one of the highest allocations of receiving funding for the West Champlain Family Health Team and their collective, which will allow up to 9,000 people in the riding to potentially have access to a family doctor. Those who did not have access to a family doctor, and so stuff like that. I mean, that's you just take that and you go, I am making a difference in people's lives, and that's what being a part of this job and being a public servant is really about having a positive impact on people in your community.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you maybe one of your favorite things that's happened so far, but I think you answered it right there, which is great. I want to thank you for coming here. Is there anything else that you would like to, before we leave, that you would like to tell anybody out there that's listening? Yeah,
and I'll say that we have a grand opening of our constituency office. We have been open for a number of months, but want to take the opportunity to showcase to the public where we are, which is 84 Isabella, and open it up to members of the public to come and see where it is and meet the staff, of whom they would probably interact with on a day-to-day basis when I'm not present in the riding or in Toronto, right?
So. Yes. No, thank you for coming. I know you got a busy schedule, and I appreciate you taking the time out to come and see us. Maybe in about a year or two, we can get you back in
do
here
a recap
and
of
see how much hair you still have
Yeah,
left on your head, and go over some of the stuff that's been going on in that time period, if possible.
Absolutely.
No, thank you very much. And to anybody out there, make sure you go check out the open house. It was
November 1st.
November 1st. Go check it out. Meet the new MPP, Billy Denault. Tell him your concerns, or just praise him for everything that he has been doing. And until next time, this is John from the Hub. We'll see you again.